Standing proudly for 100 years in the heart of the theater district, the Shubert is the flagship of the legendary Shubert organization. With 2 balconies and nearly 1,500 seats, it is one of the larger houses on Broadway.
The thing I most remember, the day we walked into this theater, the cast and crew, we all assembled on this stage, and our producer just reminded us of the history of the theater.
The story of the Shubert Empire begins at the turn of the 20th century in Syracuse, New York, with 3 immigrant brothers, Lee, Sam, and JJ, searching for a way out of poverty.
Sam was the one who pushed them into the business. He got a position of selling newspapers in front of the most popular opera house up there. And he thought how exciting that was, you know?
Then, in 1905, Sam Shubert was tragically killed in a train crash, just as his brothers were fighting a powerful syndicate that controlled theaters across the country.
The syndicate was a big presence on Broadway, and it was composed of prominent producers and theater owners. So the Shuberts came in and tried to go up against them, and bought theaters, built theaters, and fortunately survived.
Through the Depression, the brothers continued to present quality plays and musicals on the Shubert stage, including Katharine Hepburn's comeback performance in The Philadelphia Story. This tradition survived through the 50s and 60s. In 1962, Barbra Streisand made her Broadway debut in I Can Get It For You Wholesale. As the years go by, Times Square begins to change.
Eventually, in the 1970s, pornography, prostitution, drug trade, it becomes quite dicey. People begin to be afraid to come to this part of the city, and the theater business suffers because of this.
5, 6, 7, 8.
In 1976, a chorus line directed by Michael Bennett brought audiences back to Broadway and ran for 15 years.
Michael had this dream about creating a show for dancers. We all sat around and talked about what it means to be a dancer in show business. I realized that he was really taking charge of something, a dream, and gearing it for that seamless musical.
And they create this amazing story about the love of the theater, the need to be a performer, the need for that connection with the audience, and the heartbreak that comes when you don't get the role.
In 1993, several years after a chorus line closed, the time was right for the Shubert organization to renovate their historic Italian Renaissance theater.
Henry Herts, the original architect, had the intent to make this look a bit like the La Fenice in Venice, in the manner of an Italian Renaissance building.
During the renovation, some original elements, such as the ceiling murals, were recreated using archival photos, while other architectural details were restored to their former splendor.
The theater masks were a repeating image still in the theater in the plaster ornamentation. We actually looked at early sketches and we recreated the theater masks in the lobby promenade. The most interesting feature in the Shubert Theater is the integration of this color palette. It's very palatial, very Venetian, and very beautiful, and it totally transformed this theater.
In 2005, the musical Spamalot used the grandeur of the theater in a surprising way.
Even though it's a fairly large theater, it's a big place, but the way it's configured, the way it was built, the way it is acoustically, you can do very little on stage, and it will be seen at the back of the house. And that was a great gift, because we were doing this wacky show, but part of the way that show worked was it had to be played very seriously. And so here we are in this big, grand, serious theater, playing this ridiculously absurd comedy very seriously, and it all just seemed to work out.
The standard of excellence set by the Shubert brothers over 100 years ago continues on.
It's amazing to see the whole country, the whole world come to these few blocks because of the excellence, because it's the best of what they can see of this country.
Not only are these great landmarks and beautiful buildings and wonderful places to perform and to go see theater, they're also survivors. And I don't think we can ever forget that, and it's an incredible legacy for the city.